Yo, what's up? Back with another meta update. Late, but I don't know your reason for it. Anyway, as per usual, we're gonna start with the carry roll, move all the way over to soul lane, and even with the bonus balance that just came out, I'm pretty confident in the picks that I'm going to be talking about today. In the carry roll, your builds are relatively the same, but the picks are a bit different. But mainstay, Chernabog, far and away is the best ADC. He's powerful. His global rotations are really good. The slow being on his one is actually so much better for the character. And his 2 being on such a shorter cooldown as steroid is actually kind of insane. This character is nuts. And the build I will go over later when I talk about some other picks, but the Hunter build fits really well on him, and he just feels good. That's really all it is. Apollo's another pick that feels really good. The global rotations are less impactful than Chernabog, but his ultimate being landing much quicker with his ultimate is so much better for him. He's got a lot of quality of life changes, and also just is a better character overall. Getting the protections back for both physical and magical on his 2 is really strong. He feels really good. So you should play him a bit. Hachiman, still very good. And this is where we're going to go over the builds. You are kind of, this sort of pathing is kind of dead. You're looking towards a Gilded Arrow, Devo's Gauntlet, Executioner, Kin-Size, Dominance, Deathbringer into Envenom, Deathbringer. You can, instead of Devos, I don't like this build path, but you can, instead of Devos, go Aussie. Some people do it. I don't like it. I think Devos is just better. Aussie's better in the early game than Devos at a certain point, but once you stack Devos, it's just better. I feel like it's better just to go Devos. But that's really just, I guess, your own preference. Other than that, though, Marty, still very good. Same exact build. Literally nothing has changed. Sorry, I can't give you anything interesting. Marty's still a good character. Can be played in carry or mid. I do have to talk about this, though. His ability Power Artemis. And I'm serious. It's even been played at the pro level. There have been pros that have been doing this, build. And I'm not sure why it works, but it works and it hurts. I don't know if it has to just do with Bao being really good with it, or if it's just, for some reason it does. But it works, and it chunks. I just wanted to let you know because it's something that you can actually use. I don't know why it works, though. I seriously don't. You could build something along the lines of this. You could also go Fail Not instead of Jotuns, but this is what most people are doing. I don't know, but I wanted to let you know. Artemis is still a very powerful pick, even if you go a regular ADC build like I showed you before. So, try it out. Run it. Anyway, Hachiman Rama, still strong. X-Ball, still very strong as well. Those are kind of your picks you're sticking to. Sardanos, Ishtar as well. Most of these you're going Gooseberries for. Artemis, if you're going the ability-based build, you go Bao. Marty, you're going Bao regardless. But you're going Golden Gooseberries in all these picks. Except for the aforementioned Bao on the 2 characters. For the supports, there's a lot of things going on here. So, Ganesha is still strong. But I feel like he is in some way outclassed, despite the fact that he literally can give his carries 2 items worth of protections, of both protections, by pushing a button near them, which is insane. The changes to the Athena have risen her to the top. Taunt not instantly killing you in the late game by taunting a hunter is crazy. Having the slow on her 3 is really good, and having movement speed, having her ultimate give you movement speed is insane. Movement speed in Smite is a stat that is crazy. Being faster is fucking nuts. And people really undervalue that until they get chased down and they're like, why the fuck are they so fast? Athena is incredibly strong right now, and if you're a support player and you haven't picked her up yet, you should. She's super strong right now, and you should be playing her. Her CC is good, her early game clear is pretty strong, her pressure is pretty strong, and her ability to set up for her carries is very strong. Bracken. This character exudes pressure. He has a wall that he can put up, trap either the enemy support, trap anybody who doesn't have jumps. He clears waves super easily with a super short cooldown ability. He's got really good CC. He's got very good damage. Feels very good. This character used to have mana problems, especially in the support role. Not anymore. Not anymore with his 2. I know I'm kind of being short with it, but there's really not much else to say about it. Boat Boy. This is the kind of thing that I like to call the Lermster effect. As in, Lermster is it's a Lermy character. I would compare this to Ixchel, right? Ixchel was an aggro character, right? Ixchel has a lot of weaknesses, but she also has a lot of strengths. She can produce an insane amount of damage and a really good amount of healing. But if she gets caught, she's dead. She has a weakness. Whereas this character gives his allies shields, gives them movement speed, has a global ultimate, has a fear, has absurd CC, has escapability, can keep you locked in place forever, has a silence that barely makes any noise, and barely has an effect, gains extra gold for existing near things. This character has everything. Marty had everything. It's a little ridiculous. This character's stupid and needs to be nerfed again. If you're a support player and you aren't abusing him yet, you should get in the boat. We're leaving, loser. The Elephant, super strong pick, prot shred on the ultimate. Giving her carries protection, giving everybody, I should say, in the area 2 items worth of protections is super strong. The grab's really good. The damage amplification of the one's really good for early clear and pressure. Overall, the character's very good. Ares, Terra, Kuzenbo, Bowie, Yamoja, all very strong picks as well. Geb, another one, Ymir, all pretty strong picks. Again, a lot of these picks you can play. Like Bacchus, I feel like is a little bit slept on. Atlas is a little bit slept on right now. Power. There's a lot of powerful picks right now in the support role. They all could do a lot of things. To the middle lane. Raijin and Chernobog were 2 characters that had a 100% pick ban rate at the most recent SPL event. Raijin literally just has pressure. High damage and pressure. That's what this character provides. In the late game, he's a little bit less powerful, and he still has the problem where he can get caught, which I think is very good. The amount of damage he exudes out and the amount of cooldowns he can throw out is incredibly strong. But he also exudes a ton of pressure. So, you have to use that and abuse that, especially in your ranked lobbies. You can kind of punish junglers for overextending. You can 1v1 the enemy mid laner super easily. And overall, just kind of squash people. He's pretty strong, and you shouldn't sleep on him. We buffed Thoth for some godforsaken reason. He's now one of the best mid laners in the game, in my opinion. Thoth does have the problem of he can get jumped on by certain picks, but in the right situation, he can just play the artillery mage style that he always does. He's too far away for certain characters to reach him, and then he can't go punished. And he does 16 billion damage to everybody, and nobody can kill him. This character's fucking ridiculous. There's no other way to put it. The amount of damage he can provide is insane. He is good secure, high damage, high objective damage, and just obliterates people. He gets pen on his passive. He's just super strong. Janus is a pick that I always ban in ranked because people are stupid and just chase him around forever and they can never catch him. Also, Janus literally plays itself, in my opinion. The only monochrome of skill that this character has is aiming the ultimate. You can barely miss the 2. Your cooldowns are so short that portaling the ground barely punishes you anymore, and your 3 is one of the most broken abilities in the game. This character's stupid, and super frustrating to play against. If he's open in your games and you're a mid laner, you should be spamming the hell out of him, because he's just so dumb. Ebo! High damage, good burst damage. Thoth, but close range, I would say. Again, he can get punished by certain picks, but Thoth, but close range. That's kind of what he is. He does very similar things. Incredibly high burst damage. Good secure. And he could just do 6 billion damage if nobody gets on him. But the only problem is he's very close range with it. So, Yu Huang is also another pick that's kind of risen up a bit. He's pretty powerful. He's got a good deal of safety. And into picks like Pele, he could stall out a lot of time. Pele is especially prominent right now. He could stall out a good deal of time into her, rooting her, and pushing her away if need be. He feels pretty strong right now. Agni's another pick that is kind of an artillery style, but he's a bit more spammy. Burst, good CC, really good follow-up. Overall, he feels pretty solid, but Agni's always kind of middle of the pack, or he's just good. But the build fits him right now. Book of Thoth builds really don't always fit him, but he likes it. Feels pretty good right now. My game crashed in the middle of recording. I just thought that would be funny to mention. Anyway, Baba Yaga really isn't being played right now, and I think that's more on a mutual agreement to not be cringe. For some reason, the Soul Reaver Baba Yaga bug has not been fixed, and I think the higher level people understand that, and they don't want to be fucking cringe. To my knowledge. Now, it could have been fixed in the bonus balance, and they didn't mention it, because for some reason they just don't mention things on their patch note shows or whatever, right? As an aside, balance. I said I was going to make a video essay about it, but as I've been doing more and more research on the topic, I realized a discussion is more appropriate for it as opposed to a video essay for it, because the formatting of it just really doesn't fit it. To articulate thoughts and to go back and forth between it is difficult. And I'd rather just have a discussion about it, and whether it just be a blurb through over a gameplay or something, I think it might be easier. But I digress. Anyway. But Grandma's not being played, even though I think she's really good, and I think that's literally just because most leagues have her, like most community leagues, have her banned, or have her and Reaver banned, and you're not playing a mage without building Reaver right now. Most of your builds start out something like this, depending on if you're a Sands of Time character or Conduit Gem character. Like on Thoth, you're a Sands of Time character. But on somebody like Tiamat, you're a Conduit Gem character. Anyway, most of your builds start out with something like this. You go into Book, and then you either go Divine Ruin if you need it, or you go Spear of Desolation if you don't. Then you follow it up with something like, you can go Charon's Coin, or you can go into, if you need defense, you can go Breastplate. But you could also just go Charon's Coin. You can go Chronos Pendant if you need it, but I wouldn't entirely recommend it. You can go Obshard, you can just go into Reaver. You could also just go, like, Rod. You could go a lot of different things. It's character dependent a lot of the time. Staff of Mirrodin also isn't terrible. But you can also just go Divine and Spear of Desolation, because both are really good items. But Reaver is in the build at some point in the build, in every single mage build. Reaver is a must-buy on every single mage because of how good it is. It is just that good. And because most leagues have banned Baba building Reaver because of the bug, people just aren't playing her. And I think because the high-level players aren't playing her, it trickles down to the lower end of ranked. I still think she's good, but don't bug abuse. Don't be a loser. Don't be a cringe loser. Anyway, other picks. Disco, Ra, Scylla, Tiamat, Zhongqi, all playable picks. There was a bit of a spike in Nuwa play. I did say I would mention her last time. There was a bit of a spike in Nuwa play. I don't think she's that good. And I think everybody realized she's still not that good. And then obviously, this fucking guy. Moving over to the jungle. Pele. Pele is still incredibly powerful. Her being able to regain her heat off of her hitting targets is crazy. Her mobility is crazy. Her damage is really nuts, especially with the 4th hit on her ultimate. Character is nuts. This character, just, if you're a jungler and you're not playing her, you should be. And if you're a role and you're not banning her, and she's running your games, you should be banning her, because this character's bonkers. She also plays mid lane as well, if you're comfortable with that. I didn't mention her because most players aren't comfortable with that assassin mid style. But I guess I can mention it now. Pele mid is a thing. So get used to it showing up. Pele and Set are kind of the only two assassin mid laners that are really showing up right now. But that can happen. But Pele in the jungle is super powerful. She plays 3 roles. She just feels super strong. Susano, also incredibly strong right now. Assassins do a ton of damage. Hydra's has percent pen on it still for some reason. Serrated Edge is really good. Their items just feel super strong. Characters are nuts. Incredibly high damage. Susano could just kill like 2 or 3 people in a team fight. Feels crazy. He's got good CC, really high damage, really good mobility. Just 1v1 anybody he wants. Alright. So, letting Arachne stun people in 2 hits with the 2 was a dumb decision. Letting her blink onto you and pretty much instantly stun you with no reaction to like jump away or do anything with it is kind of bonkers. This character is playable. And holy fuck is she annoying. I think she has a bit of the Vamana effect, not to the same scale, but her abilities, I believe it's her 1, but I could be wrong. No, it is her 2. Their cooldowns are increased. Their active cooldowns are increased by 2 seconds. That is stupid. That needs to be taken off, I think. Especially now since the ability is literally instant. This character does so many things super well. She absolutely obliterates tanks. Like, they disappear. She's got high mobility. She's got incredibly high damage. Really good objective shred. She has really good 1v1 potential. The only thing she sucks at is sieging. Kind of like the Awilix issue. But this character is good now. So if you're an Arachne player, an Arachne jungle player, get ready. Your time has come. Anyway, other characters that still feel strong. Thor, Ratatoskr, Naja, Bakasura, Kali, Hunbats, Set, Serket, Habazot, Bastet, Lancelot, Thanatos, Loki. You've got a lot of picks, a lot of variety right now. So, definitely use it. You could still go Alquag and Hebo as well. You got a ton of variety, though. In the solo lane. In ranked, Wukong is still your best pick, even with the nerfs. Wukong passive is OP. This character still does everything you want him to do. He's Sky God. He does really high damage. He partially builds damage. He's got an attack speed slow. He feels good. There's not much else I could say that I haven't already said. This character's good. You should play him. And if you haven't started playing him yet, what the fuck is wrong with you? If we're going to stick to the Warrior tab for now, because we have to go to 2 or 3 other tabs, right? The Warrior pool right now is somewhat limited, but Amaterasu saw a very big spike in play because of the SPL lane. I think she's a little bit weaker in ranked than she is in competitive, but Amaterasu could still get things done. I think her biggest draw is that she's very good into Olorun because she has a long CC immune ultimate, which stalls time for Olorun ult, but also because she is really good at engage and she has really good movement around the map. She's super good in beacon fights because it's a small area where she can use her ultimate to deny area or just stun people. And the buffs to her made her actually playable. Character feels good, and you should definitely pick her up again. Gooseberries also means you don't have to buy Golden Blade on her anymore. So you can afford to go something like Vital Amplifier in that spot, or Toxic Blade later on if you sell Amplifier. So she feels good. If you are looking at other characters in the Warrior tab, Osiris, Nike, Guan Yu isn't terrible, Hercules isn't bad, King Arthur isn't terrible, Tyr isn't bad, the rest of them, meh. Guardian tab. Big Snake. Same reason as it's been for the past couple of meta updates. High damage, good poke, Sky God, big area denial, good lane pressure. It's kind of what it is. Jormungandr just feels good because you could build his items right now. Cabrakan has excessive pressure. Kind of what it is. He clears waves super quickly. Any and all interrupts that Tremors had are almost completely nullified, because it has a 4-second cooldown, so nobody fucking cares. I don't even interrupt it at this point. It's not worth it unless it's like something that I'm stuck in. It's not. It's just not worth it. This character's nuts. He's got very high damage. You can afford to build damage on him. Something like Absolution can prevent you from getting pulled by Ares or pulled in by Daji, something like that. He's super good. If you are going to go different Guardians in this role, Athena, Kuzenbo, Charon, all work. Feel pretty good. In the Mage tab, Aokwang, powerful. Forcing the enemy soul laner to go beads and not teleport is really powerful. Forcing the enemy soul laner to just play with 30% of their health less is pretty powerful. Having incredibly high poke and excessively short cooldowns with Bow is powerful. Aokwang is just pretty strong. Very high damage. Very good tankiness. Is part Sky God with his ultimate. I guess conditional Sky God would be a better descriptor for it. But, yeah. In the Assassin tab, Camazos, Pele, Ratatoskr, Lancelot even. All playable picks in the solo lane right now. Kleena, another one. Thor, Robin, still all playable in the solo lane. These are all pretty powerful picks. In terms of recipes, by the way, I did forget to go over it in certain parts of it, but you're pretty much going Bow if your character can use it, which is almost everybody. Gooseberries if your character can use it, which is pretty much basic attack characters or characters that may need the help to clear the wave, or hunters. And then Sturdy Stew for supports and some solo laners who won't get as much use out of Bow, but it's usually better to go Bow. don't go durable drumstick or party punch pretty much ever. There's no reason to. Party punch has some niche uses in the jungle, but durable drumstick is absolutely awful. Never go it. Anyway, hope this helps. Peace.